in a company. So from marketing, sales to HR and controlling, provide software. And since some time we are looking into field of extending our software in a way that such things that have not been supported yet in the same value chain are being supported. And with this we looked into augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, you name it. And after we've done some first prototypes and showcases and discussed them with customers, we decided to also go into that direction. So this is actually the point where we start. So 1st of October, a new business unit is being founded, caring about immersive experience. Clicker doesn't like me.
Yes.
Doesn't work. What's that? Can you forward? Good. So, topic is AR, VR for serious business. I think most of you would agree that virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality is fun. First things that came out when the newer devices evolved was gaming experiences. So it's a lot of fun, but I'm standing here as someone from business, and the question is, can this also make sense for business? So is there a business in it for businesses? And I'm not so much talking about selling hardware or selling games, but if you are in corporate business, how can these technologies support what workers around the space that our software works actually can do? And to answer that question, first of all, we have to see what actually does virtual augmented mixed reality mean in a business context. I think 90% of you would think about, wait a second, would think about wearing a headset, head-mounted display or something like Oculus or so. But there are also other options like an immersive screen. What you see in that video actually is a setup that we have done for the soccer club TSG Hoffenheim. I don't know whether many of you are familiar with German Bundesliga, but this is one of the clubs playing in the Bundesliga, and SAP is their main sponsor. And when we did sponsorship with them, we decided not only to give them money and get our logo on their shirts, but to try to improve how they do in football, in soccer. So we built this big construction, or actually a media company built that for us, and we built the software. So it's, well, sports also is business. So, no, not that one. Can you go back to the other one? So, the soccer, the virtual soccer players, you saw them, see they're running. This is done with actually virtual reality means. So the same software also runs on an Oculus or even on a cardboard, so we have a kind of a little takeaway version for it. But the reason for doing this very big construction there was that the idea of this is to improve the cognitive capabilities of a soccer player. So if you're playing soccer, you not only need to run fast and kick hard, but also to know what's up all around you. And with the help of our software there, you are forced to enlarge your field of sight. And this is not possible with an Oculus or something, because your field of sight in that head-mounted display is very small. So we needed something bigger. But it's not less immersive. Actually, you see you're leaning back. This is a video being done when the German women's soccer team was visiting this. And it starts normally that the players come running into that stadium and gather all around you, and then have some idle animation, they're pumping. And most of the girls just took a step back because they felt a little bit, they're coming too close to me, even though this is just a projection, this is not real. So even without a head-mounted display, you can actually get this. So we decided that we need several platforms depending on what we do. One is the big immersive screen, one is augmented reality with a HoloLens, one is virtual reality, mostly done with the Vive, and then the takeaway version, a smartphone with Google Cardboard. Now we can please stop that and go back to the presentation. Thank you. So, we asked ourselves, what can be the business impact of AR or VR in that corporate business context? And we found 5 impacts that are main to us and that we see will provide enough reason to use it in that context and to invest in that and build solutions for that. So the first, this one letter missing. So the first impact actually is to extend the information value chain. That actually means that normally you have a cut. People go out into a warehouse, on a workshop, into the field somewhere. They collect information. In former days, only with a notebook and a pen. Today, with some tablet computer. And then they go back to a different situation of their workspace in the office, and they transfer information and keep on working on this, and they have to find out more details about what's up there. And what we see this technology is good for is to, beyond the reach of mobile devices, even get closer connection between what your actual work is and what the data and the backend systems are. So when you are doing, say, remote inspection, or we will see different examples soon, we always connect what the reality is to our backend systems. So, as I said, we build systems for all processes, also asset management, maintenance planning, production planning, and so on. So we can connect everything of the information in there directly to the user wearing maybe a HoloLens or something. So to extend the reach of the computer system is the first impact that technology can have. Can you forward this? Can you forward one slide? It doesn't work again. Thank you. So, second is get rid of time and space. Now we're going science fiction. A lot of things you do in work life need that you go somewhere and take a look at something at a specific time. One example is if you do site inspection. There are thousands or even hundred thousands of people who are trained experts in some field. They have to do maintenance in an area, but they're not so much repairing things, but they're just going there and taking a look whether everything is fine or it's not. So that means 90-something% of the time they're just being bored because there is nothing wrong. And that actually leads to the situation that these people actually get somewhat less concentrated on their work and they're bored and it's not a great job to do. What we see is if we do sensoring and capturing of the situation and build a digital twin, as we call it, and let you explore this within virtual reality, then you don't need to physically go somewhere, but you get that area that you want to inspect to your comfortable office. You just put on your VR glasses and take a look at, say, a tunnel or some other area you want to inspect. And you even do not only have to go somewhere, you even do not have to be or look at something at a certain time, because we built kind of a time machine into it, because we record all the situation over time, and you can have your time slider and in that virtual reality go back in time, forth in time, see how things have changed, how temperature behaved, how like other sensible values behaved, and even with the help of cameras and laser scanners, we can build a real model that looks exactly like what you would see if you really would go there. And if something physically changed, like it's corroding, it's burning, it's falling down or something, you can see this while virtually standing on that space. That third impact is something I actually already mentioned when talking about the other one. Get rid of your boring work. So this 90%, it's always the same, yeah, it's all right, no need to do anything, is something that you get rid of. You actually are just doing exception handling. You only have the interesting part to need your expertise to actually decide, yes, this is necessary to repair something, to exchange something, and they can right away out of this then trigger this, because what you see in the virtual world is directly connected with the back-end systems that allow all these actions. The fourth impact, I call it extend your senses and speed up, means that there is another case where you might really want to go somewhere, so you lose it no matter of the space impact, but you want to get information right on top of the real world, so have augmented or mixed reality there. Well, this is not new, this is the basic of augmented or mixed reality, but we found you really can speed up a lot if you do this with these new technologies. And we calculated that actually it is worth to invest in more technology and be faster by just looking at something, get an overlay of, say, a heat map or some values augmented to it, and you can do your decisions a lot faster than you could before. And finally, the fifth impact, relax your imagination. People are not always good in imagining things. You tell them, just imagine this is a beautiful house that you could buy. It's not yet built, but invest into it and you will get a lot of money out of it. Some people can look at architects' plans and some simple drawings and say, yeah, that's a nice thing. Others can't. So what do architects do? They build plywood models or paper models, but they also are not really realistic. So we have done a case for the Emirates MBD bank in Dubai, and this is something I'd like to show you another video. So, nice view over Dubai. What you will see here is what we call the holo house. From the plans of a house, we are able to visualize this, in this case, in like a puppeteer house or puppet house. So you can choose which house you want to maybe invest into. So this is just an example of 3 houses. So you like that and you can take a closer look at it. So you can go all around it. Remember, it's not yet built, so you cannot really walk there and take a look at it. You get a lot of information, what's the price, where it actually is, and so on. And you can open it up and look into it. This is just the first stage that we did there. And here comes the reason for sometimes doing things in mixed reality, sometimes in pure virtual reality. Because the basis of what we did there actually allows us also to connect some virtual reality device like maybe a HTC Vive and walk around in that house. That's actually the same, but for another situation, maybe you are discussing with your bank on what to choose. You might want to look at that other person, and this is something that you cannot do in virtual reality. So wearing something like a HoloLens or a Meta will allow you to at the same time discuss things with the other party and take a look at these things. So, look at some of the video. Maybe one other remark for this. Last year I'm very often in Dubai because the people there are very much willing to invest into new technologies. And what you see on that picture there is the Museum of the Future in Dubai. It's currently being built. I hope soon we also will have a virtual model of it in the HoloLens. The ruler of Dubai decided, well, oil is not so much left, so in 40 years there's no. So they need to go ahead with different technologies, and they're finding all kinds of futuristic technologies. And to put them on display, they are currently building that Museum of the Future. And one early step in this is the Future Bank. So in the Emirates Tower right behind it already there is a bank branch. The most futuristic bank branch that you can imagine, and it also contains some pods to display what's next, and our projector is one chosen to be on display there. So if you manage to come to Dubai, go to the Emirates Tower, into the Bank of the Future, and try it out yourself. So, as I said, we decided to move into this. This is not a talk about a product that you could buy, it's just to explain what our way is and what our thoughts were to decide to really go there, because if we invest in such a new technology, in being able to build programs in that, then we really have to have a hard decision, and all the impacts I discussed are actually leading to the decision, yes, we are going there. So some products are to be expected early next year, but this is what we are at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manfred. Уважаемые гости, если у вас есть вопросы, вы можете задавать их на русском языке, я их переведу. Вы вопросы? Да.
Manfred, so based on your experience, who are from different industries you were contacted, who are willing to proceed first with AR and VR? Who are the innovators in terms of different industries from your experience?
Well, there are two industries that you already saw in the examples. So one is sports. This is not something that every small soccer club would use, but it goes there, and there are training centers built in other parts of the world where this is being implemented. And that second one was bank, but actually while we were discussing how to build this with the bank and also with our colleagues, it turned out that the building industry, I'd say everyone from financing this with the bank, taking care of the administration, maintenance and so, to the companies building buildings, showed interest in this. And when we just showed that around as some innovative stuff, actually we got questions like, can we do this with ships or planes? And the answer is yes. So we see that this is a very generic product. We have all the information about an item in the background to manipulate things, and we have the front end to show things like the houses here. So a lot of branches may open up, but these are the branches that we had first contact with. And then for inspection, companies like from utilities area or oil and gas or so, they are very much interested in this remote inspection, because if you think about a gas pipeline or something, this is pretty long. You have to travel a lot to take a look at it. So there's a lot of potential to save cost there.
Есть еще какие-нибудь вопросы? I think that you will stay here for 5 minutes, yeah?
Yes.
So, if you have personal questions or you want to talk with Manfred, so, извиняюсь. Если у вас есть какие-нибудь свои вопросы, которые вы хотите задать Манфреду, подходите, не стесняйтесь. 5-10 минут он здесь и, соответственно, потом пойдет на выставку. Так что добро пожаловать, общайтесь, стройте контакты.